Having hobbies might just be one of the most self-indulgent things that you can do. But I personally believe this is one of the best pathways to building true confidence. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin, and this channel is all about becoming the coolest person that you know so that you can live an extraordinary life. And yes, I do believe that having hobbies are self-indulgent. I mean, literally, you are spending all of this time and all of this money, just to have fun. But I personally believe this is one of the best pathways to building true confidence. Sure, achieving things in life, as we've been taught, helps to build confidence. When we progress in our career, when we have great social status, but when you do things just for you, literally for nobody else, literally for no other reason than just to increase your joy, pass the time, I truly do believe that this really helps to build a strong sense of identity. And so in this video, I wanted to talk you through not only all of the ways that hobbies actually can help you to build confidence and to become the coolest person that you know, but give you some advice, because I know so many of you out there, so many women I speak to, they say this to me: Erin, I want to be the coolest person that I know, but my life is so boring. I just don't feel like my life is interesting, and therefore I don't feel cool. Well, my friend, hobbies is the pathway to getting there. As someone who is a serial hobbyist, I mean, this set is built from things that I had in my house. I can tell you that having hobbies, even the hobbies that I'm not good at, are the number one way in which I have built confidence. So coming from me, I am the best person to tell you how to find hobbies that make you feel like the coolest person that you know. So the first reason why hobbies do help you to build more confidence is, like I just said, it makes your life more interesting. Think about confidence. Sure, when you are good at something, when you're progressing in your career, you might feel confident. But imagine having something that is all for you, something that's interesting in conversations. I've had hobbies like doing Muay Thai or riding motorbikes, and it just makes me feel so good to tell people that I have these skills. Honestly, I'm not even that great at motorbike riding. Muay Thai, yes, because I've been doing it for a long time, but I'm really not even good at some of the hobbies that I do. But even just to tell people that I try these things and I spend my weekends doing these things, it really does make me feel proud of my life. It makes me feel like I am an interesting person. If all you do is go to work and come home and sit on the couch and your life is very status quo, it's easy to feel like your life isn't interesting. And of course, when your life doesn't feel interesting, you're probably not having these moments of joy that also bring a lot of confidence. And so yes, having hobbies, whether or not you're amazing at them or not, but just trying new things will generally make you a more interesting person, and being interesting will make you feel more confident. But the second reason why having hobbies is such a good way to build confidence is because challenging yourself will make you feel more confident. Watching yourself actually progress in something, watching yourself get better at something, especially something that you enjoy, is such a good way to build confidence. When you challenge yourself, you actually get into the flow state. I remember when I did try to start DJing, I would spend hours and hours and hours just in that complete flow state, and watching myself get better and better and better after hours of practice, it just felt so good. Not only did it make me feel cool as fuck, I'm learning to DJ, but it helped me to just really build my confidence, because I was like, well, if I can do this, I can do anything. Anything I put my mind to, anything I spend time on, anything I get into that flow state with, I can do. And so that gives me data for next time I want to try to build a new business or to learn a new skill. It gives me data that I've done it before, I've pushed through the challenging states of being a beginner, and so I can do it again. Honestly, this is one of my favorite tips, but the third reason why I believe that some hobbies are absolutely incredible, especially sports-based ones, is that they help to build community. Making friends as an adult is challenging for sure, but I believe the friendships that you make as an adult, because they are generally based around having common goals or common interests. Maybe you meet people in your business network and you build business besties, or maybe you build friendships with people in one of the sports that you're doing as a hobby. Like, because these aren't just based on proximity, these relationships and friendships have so much more depth to them. So if you do have a hobby, or you involve yourself in a community that's surrounding your hobby, and you build relationships with people who are just as interested in that thing as you will help to build friendships. And friendships, honestly, is such a good way to build confidence, because you're not only exercising your social connection, but then you're also having other people validate the skills that you're building through that hobby. The fourth reason why hobbies are absolutely incredible. Let's get a little biological for a second and invite Elwoods to come in. But hobbies give you endorphins. Exercise gives you endorphins.
Exercise gives you endorphins. Endorphins make you happy. Happy people just don't shoot their husbands.
Yes, actually, hobbies give you endorphins. Endorphins being one of the hormones that control happiness. So when you are doing hobbies, when you are doing things that you enjoy, exercising, moving your body, exercising your brain, and finding joy in that process, it is actually increasing those endorphins, giving you a more positive outlook on life. You know, if you have a tendency to have that inner mean girl in your ear constantly telling you that you aren't good enough, that you aren't worthy enough, that you aren't pretty enough, the more that you actually increase your endorphins, the more positive your outlook is going to be, not only on life, but on yourself. And so not only in the process of building confidence for all these other reasons, like, you actually have biological changes happening inside of you that will help you to feel more confident. The fifth reason why hobbies are so powerful for building confidence is that they are a form of self-expression. Hobbies help you to build your sense of identity. I'm going to tell you a really embarrassing story. It's not actually that embarrassing, but to me, it feels embarrassing. When I was 18 years old, I didn't really have any hobbies, but I did love to party.
My name is Rod, and I like to party.
I've told this story a lot here on this channel, but all I wanted to do was go out, go to festivals, go to clubs, and I had a lot of self-worth issues, as I think many 18-year-old girls do. And I was always comparing myself to people around me. I was constantly trying to get into the DJ booth, to network, to make friends, because something about being friends with DJs just made me feel so cool, because I really didn't have that much going for myself. And so my validation, my sense of identity was only in the way that other people saw me. I wanted to be cool. I wanted everyone in the club to think I was cool just because I was standing behind a DJ. I mean, when you think about it now, you're just but at the time, it was really important to me. If I'd had more hobbies, if I'd had more things that were just for me, like sports that I was doing or musical instruments that I was learning myself, I don't think I would have cared so much about what other people think. These days, I am more than happy to walk into any room. I'm more than happy to network in any community, because I feel so good about myself because of my hobbies. Bitch, I do Muay Thai. That makes me feel so cool. It really, really does. Having that as a part of my identity really makes me feel cool. I know how to ride a motorbike. I know how to play the piano. All of these things, although they're not really progressing me in life, again, it's just a self-indulgent thing. But because I know how to do these things, or I try these things, I go to pole dancing, I go play paddle and tennis with my partner sometimes. Just these things make me feel so good about myself that they are a part of me, because of the reasons they make me challenge myself. They make me feel like a more interesting person. And so I feel like I do have an interesting identity because of these hobbies. And that makes me feel really confident about myself. And I don't have to pull that confidence and validation from how others see me, because I know and I feel good about these things within myself. The sixth reason why hobbies are such a good way to build confidence is because they help you to build self-trust. Every time you say to yourself that you're going to do something, I'm going to go to the gym, and then you don't do it, you lose that trust within yourself. And that really does degrade your sense of self-worth. Whereas on the opposite side of the spectrum, when you are doing what you say you are going to do, you feel worthy, you feel proud, and all of the reasons we just spoke about. But The thing with hobbies and why it's so different to so many other tasks in our life, like work, is that hobbies are actually fun. Most of the time, and we'll get into this in just a second, but hobbies feel fun. They're not that difficult to do. When you truly find a hobby that you really, really, really enjoy, it's not difficult. You don't have to push yourself, motivate yourself, have systems to make yourself go and do the thing. You just do it. You're attracted to doing it rather than feeling like you have to push yourself to do it. And so therefore, if you say like, I'm going to go to Muay Thai 3 times a week, and you just enjoy doing it so much, you're keeping those promises to yourself far easier than most of the tasks that you have in your life. So it builds that sense of self-trust, and it helps you to feel like you can actually rely on yourself and do the things that you say you're going to do. All right. So let's talk a little bit about how to actually start with hobbies. The first thing that I want to say that is super important is that not all hobbies feel as good in the beginning. You have to approach this with a beginner's mindset, knowing that you will be more challenged in the beginning, and a lot of the fun comes when you actually see yourself improving. When I went and got my motorbike license, what you have to do to ride on the road here in Australia is that you have to do a 2-day course. Now, I'd ridden dirt bikes before, but riding a motorbike on the road was a lot different. I was very scared of the traffic conditions. After the first day, I just felt like I was not getting anywhere. Like I just wasn't doing well. I called my dad. I was crying. I wanted to quit. Like it was just not enjoyable. Like I was like, that's it. Motorbike riding is not for me. I do not enjoy this. Even though somewhere deep in my soul was like, this is going to make you feel like the coolest person that you know. It was so hard. It was just really, really, really hard for me. And I almost quit. Of course, my dad told me, don't just go do the second day. I promise you we'll get better. We'll practice together. And even after the second day of the course, I still managed to just pass because I was going so slowly. But even after the first and second day, I wasn't enjoying it really. I went on a bunch of rides with my dad. I was still really scared to be on the road. And it wasn't until honestly maybe a month into riding my motorbike on the road that I actually started to enjoy myself, that the fear started to go away and the joy started to increase. And that's been a lot of the sports, a lot of the hobbies, a lot of the things that I've tried. The beginning stages where it feels really challenging because you don't quite have the skills, you just need to try have as much fun as you possibly can, overcome the fear, and allow yourself enough time to actually get to the part where it starts to feel really good. Now, I know you might be thinking, well, what if it's just not for me? I would say give yourself at least a month with any one hobby. And if after a month you're really not enjoying yourself despite actually increasing your skills, then maybe it's not the right hobby for you, and that's okay too. Don't be afraid to quit. I've quit a lot of things in my life because I ain't wasting my life doing things I don't want to do. And so really it's giving yourself enough time to at least get good at something, good enough at something to then decide whether it's really bringing you the joy and the confidence that you want it to. So how do you actually find hobbies? Well, there's 2 little exercises that I have that I think could be really helpful here. I don't know if you remember the trend a couple of years ago where it was like, you need 5 hobbies. You need one for your mindset, you need one for creativity, one for money, one for your body, and one for knowledge. Now, I don't think that you actually need to start 5 hobbies at a time. That could be very expensive, very time-consuming, and way too challenging. But what you could use this trend as a guideline for is figuring out where in your life you're actually lacking. So maybe you're not exercising. You're working really hard and you're excelling in your career, and that's fine. You're making money, but you've noticed that you'd really like to incorporate more physical activity into your life. And so maybe you can actually look for a hobby that is going to give you daily or weekly movement. Or maybe you already are going to the gym and that's fine. It's kind of like a hobby and you're just doing it, but you actually really want to stimulate more creativity. Maybe then you want to get a hobby that is learning a musical instrument or some type of artistic hobby, like learning how to do pottery or painting. So what I would do is I would first look at the area of your life that you feel like you're not giving enough love to, and then maybe try to choose a hobby in that area. I do believe that you should have hobbies in all areas, but at least start with an area that you think could bring a little bit more fulfillment to your life. Start with one hobby at a time, and then you can add more from there. But honestly, I feel like the best way to figure out what the right hobbies are for you to at least start trying new things is go back to what you liked at childhood. The reason why I started doing Muay Thai in the first place is because one of my favorite movies of all time is Mulan, and one of my other favorite movies of all time is Kill Bill. And so obviously when I was a child, I really liked martial arts. And so I went and did Muay Thai because there was just something about women doing martial arts that I thought was like the coolest thing alive. And lo and behold, doing Muay Thai made me feel like the coolest woman alive. But a lot of the other hobbies like DJing, I try to learn the guitar, skateboarding. A lot of these are because these are hobbies that my brother did when I was growing up, and I was really inspired by him. I thought he was the coolest person alive when I was like 10 years old. And so a lot of the hobbies that I've tried as an adult has been because they were things that my brother inspired me to do that I just didn't quite do when I was a child. So think back to the things that you would like to do. It doesn't matter if you're in your 30s, 40s, or even 50s. Like, it's never too late to like learn an instrument or start a new sport. You can do anything at any age. If you have the physical health for it, why not? So think back to your childhood. And if that all fails, then all you can do is really look what's out there. You know, free trial that bitch. Go onto like the MindBody or ClassPass app and see what things are available. Talk to friends. Go on YouTube. Go on social media. Literally go onto Google and search hobbies that I might enjoy, and just get a list of hobbies and circle the ones that pique your interest. Use AI, but it's just about getting started. You don't have to be great to start, but to be great, you have to start, or whatever the hell that quote is. But either way, just get started trying things. I promise you it's worth it. Yeah, it sounds like a little bit of effort to go through and find hobbies that you truly enjoy, but I promise you the amount of confidence and just life skills, life progression, life fulfillment that comes out of having things like hobbies that are just for you will increase your life tenfold. All right, that is it from me. I want to know from you in the comments below, what is a hobby you either absolutely love or one that you really, really, really want to try? I promise you, becoming the coolest person you know, honestly, the aesthetic ethos of becoming the coolest person you know is having hobbies. So hashtag get a hobby. It will make you cooler in real life. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I deeply, deeply, deeply appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video.